Welcome back to another episode of Keith and Stephanie Are Hungry.
Hungry.
We once again ordered food, and we are anticipating its arrival at the end of this episode.
I feel like 1 out of every 4 episodes might have us being hungry in it.
Probably. Humans do become hungry periodically.
Why the fuck does that happen?
And every time we do one of these sessions, it's like an all day occurrence where we get like we do 5 episodes or something over the course of the entire afternoon. And so at some point food happen. Sometimes in the middle of the session, sometimes now it's at the end.
I told Keith I'm trying to intermittent fast and I'm fucking that up, but I'm only doing 2 days a week. I did yesterday into today, so I'm cheating now. It's whatever. It don't matter. It's supposed to be very healthy.
Fasting is when you eat chili dogs sometimes.
And nets. No good.
That's no good.
Just kidding. I love chili dogs.
So how are we going to explain
where's
to
Ogilvy?
Leo? Ogilvy?
Yeah, where's Ogilvy in the Echo universe?
Oh no. Ogilvy the Hedgehog.
That's his real name.
Yeah, I know. According to Archie Comics, which may or may not be canon. But it was canon anyway with the Sonic verse.
Dude. There's too much going on over there. I try not to, I don't go over there.
So how are we going to explain to Leo that Carl just forgot that I was here, that I was there? I pull my shirt over my head, feeling kind of gross putting back on my musky shirt. Flynn just stands in front of his dresser's mirror, having just finished putting on his tie. He's currently picking at his scales with a pair of tweezers. Carl forgets everything, especially when he gets high, which is all the time.
His shirt's buttoned up.
Yeah.
What? We've never seen this before.
The ultimate curse. A professional Flynn wearing a tie, going to work.
I didn't.
You weren't ready for this, were you? You weren't ready for Men in Black, Flynn.
I don't know how I feel about this, guys.
I thought they're display only buttons.
Yeah, I thought that was part of his job. I thought he was a clerk. Wink, wink.
Flynn's been acting kind of distant after the whole Leo incident. Yeah. It's not hard to imagine why. I'm feeling the same way. Leo almost finding out? Probably finding out had put a damper on our stupid excursions. It really put into perspective how immature we were being.
Like I said,
Leo needs to fuck off.
I don't think that there's a big issue with this. I mean, it's gonna be awkward to tell your friends because you guys are all friends, but Leo should not be acting as possessive. You guys shouldn't be afraid to tell him this. If you guys are afraid to tell him this. He even said,
you fucked this up for me. It's he explicitly is just trying to... He's just doing all this for Chase. He's just trying to get back with Chase. That's explicitly his goal, isn't it? And by explicitly, I mean implicitly. That's what that word means.
Yes, yes.
But what else? What do you mean?
I think Leo's very selfish. That's not what this is supposed to be about.
It's like the get-together was what he was going for. I needed this.
I needed this. Fuck the rest of you. I need this.
Alright, so I'll say I spent the night at Carl's, then left in the morning to do some filming, then came back. Flynn had told me to text all this to Carl before I go over there. The only response I'd gotten so far was a short, "What?"
Poor Carl, oh my gosh. Carl just woke up, he's like, what the fuck's happening?
So many messages. Why is everyone in this group so fucking extra? They need to chill. We don't got any other choices. I guess not. And Chase, we probably shouldn't do this anymore. Yeah, I know. Flynn glances at me through the mirror, then returns to picking at his skin.
Is he taking scales off individually with tweezers?
Maybe. Bad ones or something? I don't know.
That seems...
I don't know.
Reptiles shed their skin, but it's pieces of skin. It's not going to be individual scales.
Yeah, I don't know what exactly he's doing with tweezers. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. Scalies, sound off in the comments. What does this mean?
I don't know. He clears his throat. I know this is kind of gross, but it's fine. We've all got our gross things to deal with. Can't go into work looking like I got snowed on.
Oh yeah, so it's basically dandruff, lizard dandruff.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't ever really get that bad, but Flynn breaks off awkwardly as he goes back to his grooming. It's weird seeing him this off, but again, it's not like it's unwarranted. I sit on the edge of his bed, texting Carl again to try to get him to at least partially understand what the plan is. After a couple of minutes, Flynn clears his throat again. Listen, Chase, you ever feel a bit like not yourself? I look up and see the lizard's looking at me through the mirror again. He quickly turns his attention back to his picking. I don't know, like, you're not fully in control of what you do. Yeah, he knows what's happening on some level. I frown. Is Flynn trying to get at something? Explain his own actions? Does he feel like he wasn't in control of what happened between us? No. At least I don't think so. Flynn finally puts down his tweezers and turns to me, leaning his rear against the dresser. So you've never felt like you're not yourself? Though I'm not turtly.
I'm not that turtly.
I don't know.
I'm more like otterly. You know?
I feel like he should just be able to scrub his face and shouldn't need to use tweezers.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what those are
Flynn,
accomplishing.
Just use an exfoliant, okay?
Yeah.
We all do this. Human beings have dead skin cells we rub off our face every day.
I don't know what tweezers are accomplishing unless you're imagining that scales are like how people imagine dragon scales, like a bunch of individual like plates or something. Which I don't think is how lizards work.
It's definitely I can vouch for this. You can't take off individual scales off of a reptile. It would hurt them immensely. That's not how that works.
It's just like the patches of their skin, essentially, despite the impression people would have of how scales seem like they look like they work.
Well, they're all linked up together. Like when they shed their skin, like if you're taking care of your snakes right, it's one big piece. Lizards is different because they have arms and legs, so it's like a little bit harder for it to be one piece. But like
because in fantasy and just kind of just thinking in general, people often imagine scales working like feathers.
Yeah, it's
like
not like
individual.
That. They're all connected to each other, so you can't really take them off because you're basically tearing off pieces of your own skin from the rest of your skin. It's just that it's like skin that sticks up like nails, like fingernails do, but it's still attached to your actual skin and they're attached to each other.
We're coming for you, McSkinny.
I'm like, just scrub your face, Flynn. I'll make you a nice.
The reptile detective knows your secrets.
Make you a nice coffee scrub. I mean, Flynn doesn't look like a Gila monster anyway, so he's.
Though I'm not totally sure as to what Flynn is getting at, I decide to humor him and think. I guess after what happened when we were kids, I didn't feel right. After Sydney? Yeah. It's kind of like Us, huh? The movie?
Oh, I was like, Us?
Like after the incident happens, there's like this therapy period, and like that period of like wrongness is actually being used to cover up for a thing that actually was happening during that period of time, like something big that happened. I'm trying not to just spoil Us, but the thing the thing in Us.
I don't get how you think it's the same.
Well, it's like the idea that they felt like something was wrong with them, and then they got therapy, and then it's like they feel like it's behind them. But the thing in Us was a permanent change, that thing that happened. And like the thing with Chase is potentially like Samuel.
That
like
thing
a
that
thing
you're
that's
referring
here forever.
to, I think once again, not trying to spoil
Us.
Us.
You can't therapy the thing that happened because
you can't therapy the thing that happened, but I think that person in that movie has always been aware. I don't think they've convinced themselves that they're different.
No, yeah. I'm just saying like it's like between that and the Samuel thing, I'm like, therapy is irrelevant to the therapy can't affect the thing that happened because they're completely misdiagnosing what's even happening. Yeah,
therapy. This is basically paranormal. Therapy is not going to fix this problem.
Yeah.
An exorcist, maybe, but I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what kind of possession this would be, or if this is like so interwoven into a person's personality that it's not separate, like being reincarnated, because like that kind of thing it's basically inseparable because it's too much of a fabric of who you are. But if this thing's bouncing around individuals, it makes me feel like it's more like a possession than like any kind of reincarnation,
Yeah. I tried to avoid talking about it directly, but Flynn doesn't seem to be bothered right now. You probably remember when I saw that therapist after, but I felt so different and it scared me. Flynn nods. Did they figure it out? Kind of. If I remember right, they said it was like a dissociative thing? What's that? Like, sometimes when something really traumatic happens, your mind sort of distances you from yourself to protect you. I shrug. Something like that. I'm not very good at psych stuff. That was my first.
Jenna.
Until we fully realized what was happening, that was my first reaction to the idea that we made that choice and then suddenly it was in third person. Like,
That we were disassociating?
yeah, I thought that Chase dissociated, and that's why he was literally just experiencing his story in third person. But then apparently Chase didn't experience that because he never got out of the cupboard. So it was his other consciousness literally just leaving, apparently.
Yeah, which once again, like that really reiterates to me that these things are actually separable. So it is like I'm living in your body as opposed to like I'm a part of you, I guess. I'm trying to...
So we're potentially getting at what happened, which is that he got possessed by Samuel, and any kind of symptoms he had related to that were all just diagnosed as dissociative experiences.
Well, because if Chase is saying that, like, he's like, oh yeah, sometimes I do kind of feel funny, you know, like, you would think that was a normal experience for yourself and maybe for other people too. So even though you are like fucking possessed, you might think that you're doing the dissociative thing, which a lot of people do, but it's so hard to like vocalize or explain what that's like that you could just be possessed and think that you're just being disassociative.
Yeah. I find it interesting that both this and Arches both lean into this idea of like this terrifying concept of if you had supernatural stuff happening in a setting and also mental illness potentially, like how those would interact, or how like some things that you think are problems of a normal like psychiatric nature might actually be like, actually maybe it actually is some kind of fucked up superpower or possession or some kind of supernatural element, and like how you might be missing that for ages because it's presumed to have like a reasonable explanation. That's
what like what is great about horror movies is, like, obviously horror movies are like, you know, it's fear of the unknown, and a lot of something really scary is like the things you don't know about yourself and things that you don't know about the human brain. And there's a lot of horror movies that play with that idea a lot, where like in tandem you have a character who is either very convinced or their family is very convinced that they just have a mental illness, which like so in some movies it's never even clearly established like where one part ends and one part begins in terms of like horror or supernatural, or like how much of that of yourself plays into the horrible things that you do or the horrible actions that happen. And obviously that can sometimes cause very bad, like movies with very bad mental illness representations, but I think it's a fun thing to play with because there's something special about being afraid of yourself and what you're capable of.
Something like that. I'm not very good at psych stuff. Natural transition. I almost tell Flynn to ask Jenna, but of course he can't. So did they fix it?
That's ignorant to say. You can't really fix it.
Yeah. Not really, but I got used to it, I guess. Was like the new me. And you're okay with that? I shrug again. My therapist said that really traumatic things can change the way your brain works forever. You just learn to live with it. That doesn't sound good. I'm thinking like you say you're okay with that. I'm like, you don't get to choose. Your opinion doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you're okay with it. It just is.
Well, in real life, like I said, even if it didn't have any natural element at all, something traumatic happens to you and you are different forever, and you do just have to cope with that. And that's fucking scary.
No, but it's part of life. I think we all changed. Yeah. I don't go into detail about how it got worse over time, the whole not feeling like myself. How I felt more and more like my personality was bleeding away, that I was a completely different person now than I was 10 years ago. Because in the back of my mind, I just wonder if that's what it's like to grow up. That you become less like you were as a kid, happy, carefree, a complete douchebag, and then turn into a hollow shell of that. I can still feel Flynn looking at me, so I decided to bring up something else that's just as uncomfortable, since we're already there. So, when are you planning to talk to TJ? Flynn's silent for only a second. Saturday, at the end of your trip. I'm not sure if that's the best idea. It doesn't leave much time to make amends if things could turn sour. Which they most likely will. But then, I guess that means we'll easily be able to just leave as soon as it's over. Okay. Sometimes if I read for a long time, I just start yawning uncontrollably because I'm not breathing correctly or something. Flynn's still looking at me, so I abruptly stand up, putting my phone back in my pocket. Anyway, you ready to go? I don't want to make you late for work. Sure. Flynn finally straightens up, walking across the room to grab his keys. I'm glad just to have somewhere to go now. Flynn feeling off like this is one of the most awkward experiences I've ever had. It's because you're not on the TJ route where you just full-on moon him while just rubbing your asshole with deodorant or whatever the hell that works with the musk glands, like whatever he's in the middle of there. Probably because he's usually so good at making things not awkward.
I feel like this kind of awkwardness is actually worse.
Yeah, because he's not just like yelling at everyone.
It's an emotional awkwardness. It's not like, oh, you saw me do something embarrassing, whoops.
Yep. But Chase also has like no idea what Flynn's getting at here. He's prodding at like his behavior that Chase has no idea that he's exhibiting, which is its own kind of unnerving. Like the idea that you're just actively
like if
telegraphing some weirdness.
If you just started asking me questions like that out of the blue, I'd be like, that would kind of freak me out. I'd be like,
yeah.
You gaslighting me right now? Like, you ever feel not like yourself?
Aren't you sick of being normal?
Do you feel?
Don't you just want to go ape shit?
Do you feel like you're different? Do you feel like you've been the same this whole time? Have you changed? Like, oh my god, that would fucking freak me out.
Were you always right-handed?
Yes. I had to think there for a minute.
I had to guess because I don't even know if you're right-handed for sure. I don't think it has a lot of chance to come up.
I did look down at my hands.
Because you have to do the trick to tell which hand's which.
Yeah, I'm not very good at my directions, so I do the L with the left hand. You
learn very quickly not to listen to Stephanie if she tells you where to go.
Dude.
She does not know where she is.
Oh my gosh. My spatial reasoning's so bad. I had to put a harness on a horse the other day.
What does that mean?
For my vet class. I had to put a head halter on a horse, and I saw everyone else do it. And as soon as they handed it to me, I looked down at it, and I was like, these straps left, up, where does this one go? They had to come over and help me because I couldn't visualize how it would look upside down or how it would look on. You know, it's like one of those. It's like we have like, oh, I turn the shape and then I turn the shape like 3 times clockwork. Like, how would the shape look now? Like an SAT question. Like, oof, not great about that.
Oh, I like that stuff. But
it's fun, but I had to look at it for a long time.
Yeah, I just think about the time that I was like, I'm gonna have Stephanie do a let's try of this like horror game that pretends to be an abandoned multiplayer game, and it's like you basically just walk up a hallway over and over again because it's just a head to head.
So sorry. It's
like a head to head capture the flag map. And she could not navigate it. She got completely lost. And I'm like, I was like,
this way?
I have to recalibrate my expectations.
I'm so sorry.
But the moment we had you play Night of the Consumers, you knew exactly where you were.
Well, it was you're
like, look at me go.
Yeah, only because
you had that store memorized
traumatized.
in minutes. Yeah,
because it reminds me of my own experiences. That was the scariest game I've ever played.
You were at home, the scariest place.
No.
Ironically, it's the unfamiliar space that you were most comfortable.
The Mind Palace. I get lost in my own Sherlock Mind Palace. I don't remember which room I put that thing in, so It's gone forever.
So with that, Flynn takes me to Carl's house, dropping me off before heading to work.
I really do not like the vibe of how we left off with each other. That was so cringy, awkward. That was not happy. That was not pleasant. That was regret. And
I don't know how you get unawkward after Leo. That was just awful.
Well, yeah, but now
Leo's just the fact that Leo won't respect barriers and will just show up at places like this. Like it's akin to like when you're like hinting at the plan, like, okay, I've talked to Micah, we're gonna do something. And he just fucking shows up and starts punching people. You're like, okay, Leo, fuck, You really just go, huh?
Well, it's like, I feel vicariously guilty for Chase for that happening. And then, like, Flynn is now full of regret, which makes me feel bad for Chase because that feels bad when the person that you've had sex with now regrets having sex with you. And it's just fucking super awkward. And I didn't like any of that.
It's just this private behaviors where it's just like the idea of it immediately becoming super public. It's like, fuck off, man. Leave me alone for a minute.
Aye.
I sit quietly next to Carl on the couch as he plays his video games.
This is more comfortable.
Yes,
I
better.
like this better.
As long as he doesn't start accusing people of murder again. Never have I ever. Ha 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 ha. It's some kind of first-person shooter that I've never seen before.
You know, I'm not all that into shooters, but this one's pretty good.
Really? Because you've been playing a shooter every time we've ever seen you.
That's true.
Including the flashback. Yeah? I try to act interested as I browse through my phone. I've already texted Leo, apologizing and telling him that my phone had died. It's weird how quickly this lie has gotten out of control. I'm making things up as I go at this point, and I'm amazed at how easy it is. Almost like you have like a lifetime of lying about something big. Leo hasn't responded, and I doubt he believes any of it. It still gives both of us room to pretend, though.
Yeah, man, I think it's the sci-fi elements. I could never play one of those World War shooters.
Correct opinion. The time to death is fucked up, and also, like, LARPing real-life violence sucks compared to being like, wacky lasers, hoo-hoo!
Do you think he's playing Halo?
Yeah, that was my first thought. I'm like, we're playing Halo or Overwatch instead of, like, Call of Duty.
Well, Overwatch isn't out yet, because this is old. Remember, it's 2000-something. It's in the past.
What?
2015?
That's 2015. Overwatch 2016. It's close, though.
Wow, I'm surprised you just knew that off the top of your head. Like, that was...
How old Overwatch is?
Yeah.
Every now and then when you're thinking about Overwatch, you think about, like, the back... Like, the timeline of, like, when they were releasing characters, when the game came out, when there was the content drought of them not having any characters for years, which is mostly when I played, and then when Overwatch 2 came out, like, there's just... It comes up. It's like how I think all the time about how, like, 2017 is when we got Prey and Breath of the Wild, and 2019 is how we got Outer Wilds.
So long ago now.
Yep. No, 2017 and 2019 were amazing years for games. Where in 2017 we got Breath of the Wild, Night in the Woods, and Prey, and in 2019 we got 2019 is absurd. 2019 we got Outer Wilds, Disco Elysium, Death Stranding. What was I just thinking of? Pathologic 2. Like just some absurd, like a lot of people like Control and some of the other games that came out that year. It's just like, 2019 was probably the best year in the history of video games.
Damn.
The list of things that came out is actually wild. We've been like, everyone's just collectively still trying to catch up with that year being as good as it was. Just in time for the pandemic. So everyone had time.
Yay.
Same. Carl clicks around with the controller for a while longer.
You alright?
I sighed loudly, finally tearing my eyes away from my phone. Yeah, I'm good.
Because you don't seem good.
I don't respond to that, instead choosing to zone out to whatever's happening on the screen.
What's with this whole story anyway? About you spend the night or whatever?
I debate whether it's worth telling Carl or not. He'd go along with it either way, but keeping all of these secrets is starting to make me feel sick. Well, I spent the night at Flynn's. Leo found out I wasn't at the motel, so he came looking for me.
Oh shit. Did you and Flynn,
I let the silence hang for a while. Carl snorts.
Wow.
Come on, Carl.
No, I don't mind. Just seems kind of weird.
How so? I feel myself getting defensive. I'm not really in the mood to be judged by Carl. Yeah, he's cool and everything, but his life, let alone his sex life, doesn't exactly put him in a position to do so. Chase, you've had sex with one person.
That's a good point.
2 people now. Like, and they're both in your friend group.
Yeah, that...
And it's immediately a problem.
You know, those are all very good points there, Keith.
Chase's, Carl's ducks are comparatively in a line.
Well, you just barely got here like 5 days ago, and already?
I sigh.
Yeah, you're a slut, Chase.
You know how Flynn is.
You know how I am, because Chase is a slut. Which, I mean, that's fine, but don't act like you're not. Like, don't...
I feel like there's a lot of meaning in this line.
Yeah, I do.
You, Carl? So you shouldn't be surprised.
Oh, but I mean, we've known him since we were kids. It just feels kind of a little bit...
Carl, I'm not really in the mood right now.
Yes, I don't think Carl does know. Because he's like, but we've known him since we were kids. It seems weird that you guys had sex. He wouldn't say that if he had done anything with Flynn.
Unless... Look, I can dream forever.
I can dream, because that was the shipping. That was my ship.
Yeah. And we saw that nice animation today where they're like ice skating together.
Yeah.
I forget who, but there's that one person that does like 1 billion echo animations, and their most recent one as a recording time was an anime parody it's just line art, but
it is a very realistic anime.
There's a whole extended dancing
parody.
part that's like looks rotoscoped, and it has Leo and it is Flynn and Carl. It is so good.
Yeah, I ship them very hard. I'm a little... Come on, I want it to happen.
Yeah, the only better relationship is Devin and Cameron in Arches. It's an actual, like, okay, these people, I just want to see them happy together, which is not a thing I'm used to feeling about Echo characters most of the time.
Well, no one in this game is dating each other. Like, Leo's our ex-boyfriend, and then we go and try to fuck people, but there's no couples in this game that are shown.
We've also, we've never ended in a couple either, except for Kudzu.
Yes. And in that one, I just felt bad. Kuzu had to be with Chase.
Yeah.
So.
The more we learn, the more it's worse. Carl goes quiet for a few more minutes. The clicking buttons on his controller are the only sound. It doesn't last long, though.
You know, I saw you guys at the river a couple days back.
I saw you too.
Fucking awkward. I mean, I saw you guys.
Carl, I just said I'm not in the mood. I'll fuck you tomorrow. God.
Gosh.
I need a break for a day each time. Like, chill. I can't fuck all my friends the same weekend.
Or maybe you should fuck all of them so Leo's anger is dispersed equally and he can't be as enraged because he'll just have to be mad at everybody.
Sorry.
You'll have to ground all of us, or you'll have to give us all detention. You know?
I am Spartacus.
I am Spartacus. Fucking oh, captain, my captain.
All shrugs.
Just saying, I already know. It's cool.
I keep quiet, hoping hoping that will get Carl to drop this stupid subject already.
I accidentally made it. I said instead of saying like it's cool, I should have said like, oh, I saw you guys already. It's cool. I said like it's cool. That's super cool, bro. My inflection made me laugh because I fucked it up.
It doesn't
it's
work.
Cool. But I get why you gotta keep it from Leo like this.
I pull my phone out to see if I've gotten a text from Leo yet. I haven't.
Me and Leo, we don't hang out all that much. Though I think he tries to. He talks about you a lot.
Leo. I try to ignore the guilt that's steadily building up inside me. Did you smoke today? Because you're being real talkative right now. Wow. Chase is a dick.
Chase is like, go get high and shut up. Like, how rude, Chase.
It's just really like, damn.
Chase, you need to smoke some today.
I just don't like any...
You need to chill out.
I don't like any social interactions where you like weirdly guilt the other person for talking to you, basically. It's like damn, fuck. I only ask because I don't smell it. Usually it's pretty strong.
I love that smell.
That's the only reason why you ask? Because it sounds like you're trying to shut him down and guilt him. Like,
yeah, that's what it sounds like.
If that was not your intent,
too.
then you are not gauging your statements very well.
Actually, I had an edible this morning.
Carl giggles for a long while after that. Oh, really? I massage my brow with a thumb and forefinger. Normally I get along great with Carl, especially when he's high. But after this morning, basically everything is getting on my nerves.
I usually hate that shit, but I don't know. Guess I was bored today. Those things shoot me into a fucking space.
Guess that explains why you won't shut up.
Hey, am I pissing you off?
I immediately regret what I just said as Carl puts the game on pause. No, just had a stressful morning.
With Leo?
Carl starts the game back up, giggling again as he shoots a space marine in the face. Those are on your team, Carl. Stop. Finally, a text from Leo. Good to know.
Oh, he's fucking pissed.
Another one immediately follows. Let's hang out sometime soon.
Oh, he's pissed, but he's willing to ignore all this if you just hang out with him.
So I'm saying you got Dragon Ball. You just gotta never see each other again. Like, this is a disaster. You guys are awful. Like, do not maintain this.
Like, I am mad at you, but I cannot be without you. So I'm gonna shut up about me being mad at you and just push it real down deep, and I'm just gonna try to swallow it, and we should hang out.
Every time
that's pathetic.
Every time Leo shows up, I just get the Kill Bill noise, like when it ring, like when the phone rings. Yeah. Like, this is just, it's like an alarm. Like, it's just, you're in danger. Like, there's no good outcomes. Like, it's just so awful so consistently.
No, he just scares me a little bit. But, you know, Flynn cares about you too.
Yeah. I texted Leo a quick affirmative, though I'm not really sure when that hangout is going to happen.
Yeah, wouldn't stop talking about you when we drove to the reservation.
Really? That actually did seem really out of the ordinary. What the hell would Flynn have to say about me? Carl shrugs.
Bunch of stuff. He wanted to buy you something from the reservation, but thought it might be too weird.
Flynn? Buying me a gift? That is kind of weird. For Flynn, I mean.
I mean, not to also be weird, but what kind of stuff do you... So a lighter makes sense. A lighter, you can buy that at a casino. What other kind of gifts do you buy a person from a casino?
Yeah, I mean, just the reservation. There's more than one thing there.
Not... Well...
They just have businesses. They could have anything there.
Not the reservations I've ever been to.
Maybe.
They might have like the touristy tchotchke store, which I could go into and I feel bad about. Or the casino, or like a gas station. Like, I've never seen one that was like a town, but I could just be wrong about that completely. But no, usually it's one of those things you
educate the white people comments.
Yeah, let me know. But I just kind of go there and I just feel fucking bad.
Yeah, I don't know if I've really been to reservations besides like some of those weird like elementary school trips where they're like, we're going to take you to the Native Americans now. Wow, arrowheads.
There could be some museums. I know that I drove all the way up to Montana, like on a big road trip, and so we stopped at a bunch of them, but mostly driving through. Like, you know, I don't know. Yeah, let me know. I would actually. I'm very curious about how that is other places. I thought it was kind of cute.
What else did he say? Carl seems to think hard while it continues to shoot guys on the screen. He twists the control this way and that, bumping into my shoulder each time.
Said you seem to have grown up a lot. That you're way different than you were as a teenager. Yep. Really cute.
Carl's tone seems slightly annoyed there, but I don't really care enough to ask about it.
Jealous.
Yeah, really cute.
Yeah, really cute. By the way, how's your project going?
Being reminded that I have an entire project to do doesn't ease the knot that's formed in my stomach. Not that great. Still need a lot of film and research.
What kind of research?
Stuff about Echo.
Like history stuff?
Yep. Carl plays a while longer, then sets down his controller.
My mom might have some Echo history stuff in the cellar, but...
He pauses.
You know Flynn is like the records holder, right?
The clerk, yeah.
Wow, was the answer in front of us the whole time on how to finish this fucking report?
Yeah, you just have to fuck Flynn and then you finish your whole project.
Or just ask the guy that works at the fucking records office. Chase, you idiot. You should have done that.
I mean, if you pick anyone besides Flynn at the beginning of the game, we probably don't really want to talk to Flynn that much after what just happened.
That's true.
He just explode on everybody.
That's true.
And insulted you directly.
Yes, but you need to get that project done.
I mean, he won't.
I'd probably just be in the one route that we don't even get a chance to do, where you don't hang out with anyone and you just work on your project. Chase goes, "Yeah, sure, Flynn. I'm a little bit boring. Can you help me find some records? Like, I'll give you money for the fucking casino." Like, I don't know.
I wonder where Daxton was. Did he just go to work or something?
Daxton just ignored all that Leo shit.
Yeah,
he was like, I'm
didn't
staying
answer
out
the door
of
either.
this.
I already know what Carl's getting at, and honestly, I want to kick myself for not thinking of it in the first place. Carl turns to me, a loopy grin on his face. Those edibles really do fuck with him.
So let's go get some records from him. Probably better than digging around in my basement, where like I can get like possessed and like we can go this whole other route that like
we can do that, I guess, if you want.
We could do that if you
kiss.
want.
We can make a kiss.
Yeah. You want to go down there and kiss?
Yeah. Well, yeah, we should, but I don't even know what to get.
Don't worry about it, dude. I go down there to shoot the shit with him all the time. We can ask him.
Things aren't exactly cool between Flynn and I right now, but it's something to do. I'm so behind on my project at this point, I don't have any excuses. Look at Carl being the proactive person right now. That's weird. We pull into the gravel parking lot in front of the city hall. The stucco structure looks a hell of a lot more weathered than I remember.
That's City Hall? That does not look like City Hall.
It looks wild.
I don't know what I even think that looks like. I would never think that was any kind of government building.
I'm not sure what I'm looking at.
Me neither.
Tarps drape the roof, and one of the windows is blocked out with plastic. City Hall's probably the oldest building still standing in Echo. From what I read on the county's website, it served as the town's post office in the early 20th century. Before then, it was an outpost used as an intelligence operations center during the years leading up to the Mormon Rebellion.
Those Mormons always rebelling.
The Mormon Rebellion. I don't know why it's funny to me.
So scary.
I just think about like Mormon spaceships and stuff like that in different settings, like like sci-fi things where like it's the Mormon rocket. Government spies were planted in the nearby settlements from Coleville to Peyton and delivered their reports on potential agitators at this outpost. They actually kept a priest on hand to help reaffirm the spies' faith in the true word of Christ. It's weird to think that Sydney was the last Mormon I knew. Are you sure Flynn works here? I exit my car, watching Carl stare ahead. His eyes are half-lidded, the ram seeming to stare for miles before the building in front of us.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Alright. Carl doesn't move. Are you gonna come out? The ram blinks slowly, his maw starting to hang agape. He shifts his bloodshot gaze.
Okay,
I'm not crazy.
Yeah, you're not crazy.
He shifts his bloodshot gaze shifts towards my torso.
Nah, my parents would flip.
For being at City Hall? Or being seen high? He flops his wrist in front of him limply, his tone tinged with effeminacy. Of the car.
Oh my gosh! Are you gonna come out? Was he joking because he said it effeminately? Or is he being honest with us? He's high, so maybe he's being honest? I don't know.
He's like, are you gonna come out? Like, nah, my parents would flip.
Yeah, I know he's joking. Damn it! Damn it, Carl! Yeah, my parents would flip. Yeah, just give me a sec.
Carl reaches down, unscrewing the lid from his water bottle and taking a few hearty glugs.
Glug, 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 glug.
When Carl grabs the door the door hook hand car door.
There's a hook in the door.
When Carl grabs the car door's handle, he hesitates. After a moment, he looks at me. He's completely silent, sucking in his cheek on one side. Carl? Finally, he speaks.
I sort of agreed to come without considering that I'd be talking to anyone but you and crew today, let alone the mayor and stuff. I'm still stoned as balls and I look like shit.
He laughs in a self-depreciating fashion, visibly sheepish because he's a goat, despite the THC still flowing through him.
I think I might just chill here in your car with the air conditioning and Higgin tactics. Higgin tactics?
Yeah. I think that's one of the I think that might be one of the names of the countries in this setting. But I'm not totally sure. High gun tactics? He holds up his phone, and I think I can just barely spot the icon for it in his sea of other game apps. Carl does look high, though he doesn't appear any worse than he usually looks.
Yeah, you get real self-conscious, though.
Yeah. Telling him that probably wouldn't do much for his confidence, though.
Huh.
That's a choice.
I think it'd be funny if he came in with us, but...
Makes me wonder if he's going to notice, also. Is something to keep happening here? Let's reassure him.
Yeah.
Carl, man, you're acting pretty sobered right now, and you don't feel like you don't smell like weed too fiercely, at least to my otter senses.
Really? Your otter senses must be pretty dull.
Your BO is overpowering it.
More reason to stay in the fucking car.
Yeah, you failed.
Failed the speech check.
Carl hastily sniffs himself, then tries to air out his hoodie from the bottom by flapping it up and down. I'm just messing with you. You're fine. I have some sunglasses in the glove box to cover your eyes. Carl sighs, tugging open the dash. A few crumpled receipts, my registration slip, an insurance brochure, and a pair of slightly dusty sunglasses are visible in the compartment.
They're tortoiseshell. I love tortoiseshell glasses.
I think Star was the one that drew it, but I think I showed you this, the one where he's got like the pink shirt and the glasses and everything. Like someone went through and like took all of the pieces of clothing that are described throughout the entire game that are related to Chase and then combined them into an outfit.
Yeah.
And it's like he's got like he's like I think he's like khaki shorts and like a pink like theme park shirt and like tortoiseshell glasses and so on.
He looks kind of like a douchebag. Just a little bit. Isn't that kind of girly?
Wow. What? Guys can wear tortoiseshell style ones? It's not like polka dot or something. Can I wear polka dot as a guy? What are the rules? Have we gendered dots?
It's all made up.
I don't understand. Should I get a polka dot shirt?
Yeah.
To fight against the gender wars?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any, because I think polka dots are ugly, but that's just me, you know? Are stripes for guys and polka dots for girls?
I don't know.
What? No one ever told me this.
What does that mean?
What's houndstooth for?
It's like when I heard straws were gay. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
For?
It's just a device.
What about
drinking?
I can't think of any other patterns. I said houndstooth. Oh, tartan. How about tartan? Who's that for? I'm thinking about Animal Crossing because they have the different pattern names. My mom wears these colored sunglasses all the time. I literally can't see these without picturing her.
Well, like, that's your personal thing. No one else thinks that. Do they? Comments? Do they think that? Are you they?
What do you think?
What do you think? Comments? I've never had an opinion about glasses ever. What the fuck are tortoiseshell glasses even? What does that mean, actually?
Yeah, Keith.
Does it mean just green lenses?
No. Oh my gosh, no. It's like the tan and brown spotted frames. Usually it doesn't have anything to do with the The lens color.
Look how confusing the first result is for this. It's just a weird rectangle thing that he's
oh.
wearing. Okay, so it's these like mottled brown rims.
Yes, mottled brown. That's perfect.
Yeah, they're like a weird. They look melty.
They look like it's referring to the way tortoise shells look.
The first result image is a guy wearing them.
Yes, they're fine.
He's such a cool man with his. They look slightly like they're on fire or like embery.
They're kind of They remind me of like whenever I think of like Atticus Finch or something. I think of like a studious man. Kind of maybe a pencil pusher, but I think tortoiseshell glasses are very cool and I like them a lot.
Yeah, I don't know. The kind of random texture is weird. It's just kind of noisy.
I don't think so, but also I'm outrageous.
I mean, they're literally noisy. What do you mean you don't think so?
I don't think so. I think they're pretty.
They're
muted.
full of visual noise. That is the thing. That is the only way you can describe them.
Trust me. I got stuff that's.
They look like but yeah, for people at home, they look like the waving. They look like a wavy water surface, basically.
I mean, I guess.
Like the ripples. Like that's the intensity of the color going in and out.
Brown and tan mottled patterned glasses. No, lens colors is not that is a different description.
Speaking of melty, this is a weird filter on this particular photo. Look at that tree.
Yeah, that tree is kind of
freaking me out.
Yeah, dude, are you high? Are you like Carl?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the tree's fucking weird.
It's not
bro.
the cutout filter they've used before, or the posterize or whatever. He slides them onto his face. They rest somewhat awkwardly on his sizable snout, unable to settle in place neatly. Damn it, your nose is too big. Damn, make him self-conscious again.
That must be really weird for glasses for all these anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah, Carl's snout is huge. Like, you're not gonna put glasses on him.
Well, he needs very special glasses.
Carl pulls the shades off his face and limply tosses them in the dash, leaning back into his seat with a long exhale.
Dude, I think I should just stay in the car. Seriously.
I need your help with some of this stuff, Carl. I'd feel a little awkward if I was there for hours with you just sitting in here waiting for me.
It's fine. I just get in your way. I'm not really good at this sort of research stuff.
I don't want to fucking pay for the gas, Carl.
Yeah.
Just gonna run my car's AC for hours? Just come inside.
Just come inside and sit, and you don't have to say nothing. Just sit next to me and play your little video game.
There's a difference between exploring old records for interesting info and frantically searching for stuff online the night before papers due, Carl. He doesn't budge, the ram staring at his phone in his lap. What's the matter with you? You look fine.
Can you just stop putting a spotlight on me, dude?
What? He idly taps at his phone, though he's just blankly flipping through screens at this point. Carl? The ram pushes open the car door and steps out, looking away from me. Alright. Thank you. He's acting absolutely bizarre. Part of me hopes this is just a weird side effect of the edibles from his morning. We'll talk later, okay? Carl sniffs, shrugging his shoulders. He's trying to act nonchalant.
Sure, dude. What do you want me to do?
I do my best attempt at a reassuring smile, for Carl's sake. I don't really feel too cheery at the moment, though. Well, first we should get the tripod and camera out of the trunk. Then we can get some B-roll of the building while we're here. The camera is kept separate in a padded hard case. See if you can get the tripod set up with the camera on it. I'm gonna head inside, say hello, and get permission to film real quick. I pop the trunk with the button on my keys. Carl looks toward the equipment with a thin-lipped expression.
Okay.
There's a bubble level on the tripod. Just make sure the bubble is in the center circle when you set it up. That means it's level. That way our shot won't be all crooked. Once it's good, you just slide the camera so that it's hooked into place from the back of the stand. Make sure that it clicks. That means it's locked.
Uh-huh.
It's such a long explanation that I feel like you could have done it basically in that time.
Yeah.
Carl digs his paws into the insides of his hoodie, still staring into the trunk. Okay. I'll be right back. He's gonna smash your camera.
Yeah, Carl's doing us a favor by even being here and getting out of the car.
Yeah.
Because he's not obligated to do any of this for you. So I wouldn't ask him to do anything. I just be like, let me just go in and get permission really quick. I'll be right back out.
I kind of thought he was just gonna come inside with us and wait and hang out and probably play his Game Boy, but I wasn't expecting him to like help with the filming. Yeah. Leaving Carl, I head toward the front door. Still not sure what's up with him, but pressing him on it now doesn't seem like a good idea. Now this looks like a government building.
Yep. Bull ring.
Yep. I just wouldn't want to be here all day.
No, who would?
The indoor garbage can. It's kind of cramped in here, honestly.
Well, it's not a good government building.
Well,
It's the Echo government building.
It's got the kind of shabby vibe. It feels like a school counselor office or something.
It does, yeah.
It feels very school somehow.
Tacky.